Sino naman kayo masasampal this year? So in this video, I'm going to talk about the 10 Best Picture nominees for this year's Academy Awards. Yung ceremony ila-livestream sa Disney Plus sa Monday. And since napanood ko na lahat, ang gagawin natin, I will give my thoughts on the movie and then sasabihin kong sinong gusto kong manalo. The first movie that we have is All Quiet on the Western Front. Nasa Netflix to, so pwede mo pang panoorin kung may subscription ka pa. And besides Best Picture actually, nominated din to in multiple categories, including Best Adapted Screenplay. This is adapted from a 1929 German anti-war novel. Hindi ko nabasa yung libro pero nagigets ko yung sinasabi ng movie and I guess yung libro about how war is difficult for people on both sides. This isn't an attempt to defend Germany's side during World War I, but rather this is an attempt to show that soldiers on both sides are suffering. May scene sa umpisa ng movie na yung recruiter, di ba, hinahype sila, tapos they feel so patriotic, so nationalistic, and then wala pang 10 minutes after that, parang gusto na nalang umuwi. Di ba? They feel like pawns. They feel like they're going to die. War is very difficult and pinakita ng All Quiet on the Western Front yun through great visuals, through great sound design, a very chilling score, and very striking scenes. Next, we have Avatar: The Way of Water. Another deserving nomination kasi napakalaking achievement nga in filmmaking nitong movie na to. I feel like every movie ni James Cameron may ambag sa filmmaking going forward. Kahit medyo generic sa akin yung kwento, gets ko kung bakit nominated to for Best Picture kasi napakagandang technical achievement nga naman talaga ng Avatar: The Way of Water. Yes, nominated siya for technical categories, Best Sound, Best Visual Effects, Best Production Design, and baka yun nga lang mapanalunan nito actually. Pero kung napanood mo yung movie, magigets mo kung bakit siya nominated for Best Picture. Kung napanood mo yung movie, parang minamasaha yung mata mo. Wait, what? Like, grabe yung kalidad ng effects. Yeah, sure, make your jokes about hindi mo maalala yung kwento ng Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water. Pero you cannot deny na visual spectacle talaga yung Avatar movies. Moving on to The Banshees of Inisherin. Nasa Disney Plus to currently and I really enjoyed this movie. Now, the movie feels very small. Simple nga lang yung kwento. Yung babaw nga nung pinag-aawayan ng dalawang tao dito eh. Pero the fact that it happens within this small town, this little village na parang 50 lang yung nakatira, tapos mukha pang magkakakilalang lahat, that made everything feel bigger. Kaya mas intimate yung mga issue, ganon. Tapos in the case of other characters, a small village can only give you so little opportunities. Kaya pag pumalpak ka, it will feel like the end of the world. May mga scenes lang dito na napaka-shocking about fingers. So, I guess you need to be prepared for that. Let's talk about Elvis next. Well, the movie is on HBO Go, so pwede mong panoorin. Mura lang yung subscription sa Pilipinas actually. Pero kaya lang ako nakasubscribe kasi Last of Us. Pero going back to the movie, this movie wouldn't have worked without Austin Butler. Like, walang kwenta tong movie na to kung hindi magaling gumanap kay Elvis. And Austin Butler was very good. There was a point in the movie na nakalimutan kong nag-acting na lang siya actually. One-man show talaga tong movie para sa akin. Kahit sabihin mo andito si Tom Hanks doing a very odd accent, buhat talaga ni Austin Butler. Now, this movie is directed by Baz Luhrmann, and kung napanood mo na iba niyang movies, alam mo yung directing style niya, you can see na he has his fingerprints all over this film. Yung cinematography, very him. Yung transitions and editing, very him. Like, everything in this movie feels very wacky, pero angkop naman talaga yung sa buhay ni Elvis Presley. Now, I wouldn't bet on this movie winning Best Picture, pero since it's nominated for multiple categories, mag-uuwi to ng award sa Lunes. Promise. Next, we have Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Nasa HBO Go din to, pero napanood ko siya sa sine during its limited run here in the Philippines, and it was a very fun and very touching experience. Kung medyo nalilito na kayo sa multiverse ng Marvel, ibang multiverse movie muna tayo. Yung mga performance dito sa movie na to, I can't think of a single one that disappoints. And lahat ng involved dito sa movie na to na nominated for some acting award bukas, I wish you all the best. Yung action, surprisingly, nandun. Yung kwento at puso ng movie, nandun. Yung visual effects for a $25 million movie, may palag. And by the end of the movie, ito yung mga tipo ng pelikulang mapapasabi ka ng, ano yung pinanood ko? And in a very good way because this movie is so much fun. Next, we have The Fabelmans. I bought this on Amazon Prime pero hopefully ma-Netflix na siya or ma-Disney Plus or ma-HBO Go soon for Philippine viewers. In a way, The Fabelmans is autobiographical because the main character in this movie is based on Steven Spielberg's childhood, his Jewish background, and his filmmaking beginnings. Like ganito gumawa ng diary yung director. Hindi sila nagsusulat sa notebook or something. Gagawa nila ng movie yung buhay nila. Denis Villeneuve, another director, called this movie the best movie ever made about cinema. And while I disagree because I won't certainly go that far, Cinema Paradiso I think is still the ultimate love letter about cinema. Pero this movie, The Fabelmans, directed by Steven Spielberg and with music composed by the legendary John Williams, this isn't the ultimate love letter to filmmakers and cinema lovers, pero damn, this is a good one. Coming up, we have Tar. Ito yung tipo ng movie na, oh, where did that come from? Kasi biglang umariba during award season. I rented this on Amazon Prime and like The Fabelmans, sana mas accessible siya to Filipinos very soon. Pero yun nga, nirent ko siya sa Amazon Prime. And pag nag-rent ka kasi doon, meron ka lang 2 days para panoorin yung movie. And na-maximize ko yung 2 days kasi puro pause ako throughout the movie. I have to pause and rewind from time to time kasi kailangan kong basahin yung subtitles kasi ang daming jargons na hindi ko alam about music. Ako pang sintonado, di ba? Pero the ever-shifting landscape of the music world, tapos yung struggles that musicians face na portray ni Kate Blanchett ng napakagaling. Sana nga lang may 2 hours 38 minutes ka para panoorin tong movie na to. Ang haba din. Next, we have Top Gun, Maverick. Nasa HBO Go siya, kaka-check ko lang. Sa mga nominees for Best Picture, ito yung pinakamaraming beses ko nang napanood. Parang napanood ko siya sa sine 5 times with 5 different groups of people. And I've sung all the praises there is to sing about this movie to my friends and family. And they seem to agree. Top Gun Maverick checks all the boxes talaga. It's a very good sequel. It has good action. Mas maganda siya for me actually dun sa unang Top Gun movie, pero it doesn't lose its respect dun sa nauna. Edge of the seat action, literal, yung mga kasama ko in this one viewing, talagang nakaganon sa puan nila. Great characters, kasi sometimes in action movies, ito yung alay eh. Ang ganda ng action, pero yung mga characters paper thin. Pero ibahin mo si Top Gun Maverick. Maganda yung action sequences, maganda yung music, tapos may characters na compelling. I know for a fact na slim yung chances nitong manalo ng Best Picture, pero this is still my favorite movie from 2022. Coming up, we have Triangle of Sadness. Nasa Prime Video to, doon ko siya pinanood during the 7-day trial na ginawa ko. And the main reason kung bakit ko lang naman pinanood to is because of Dolly De Leon, di ba? Pinoy Pride. Pero I did not expect this movie to blow up during award season. Like the Banshees of Inisherin and The Whale, which I have a review of sa channel ko, there's something about movies that happen in just 1 or 2 settings. In the case of The Whale, it happens in this small apartment. In the case of The Banshees of Inisherin, it happens in this very small town. Tapos in the case of this movie, Triangle of Sadness, it happens 1 in 1 cruise ship, 2 in an island. Sure, it's satire, may patama sa mga modern influencers, ganon. Tapos may mga scenes na nakakagulat. Pero it becomes Lord of the Flies bigla. Yung standout syempre sa akin yung Pinoy, si Dolly De Leon. Pero gets ko bakit di siya nominated for this year's Oscars. Kasi nga parang sa dulo na siya lumabas. Pero I really enjoyed this movie. I really enjoyed Triangle of Sadness. If for nothing else, panoorin mo siya kasi may kalahi tayo doon. And last but not the least is Women Talking. Not to confuse this movie with Little Women kasi halos pareho sila ng poster. And nasa Amazon Prime din siya. And I guess this is my least favorite of the bunch. Pero I really enjoyed some aspects of it. Yung performances ni Frances McDormand, si Rooney Mara, si Ben Whishaw. And gets ko naman to a point yung message nila about violence and religion. Pero sometimes it was a bit too much for me. Medyo on the nose. Pero I do see why Women Talking is nominated for Best Picture. Now, nasabi ko na yung thoughts ko about the 10 Best Picture nominees. And ngayon, sasabihin ko kung sino sa tingin ko yung mananalo bukas. When trying to predict which will win Best Picture kasi, hindi lang siya yung favorite mong movie. Because if that was the case, Top Gun Maverick will win Best Picture for me. Pero you have to take into consideration kasi gaano kaingay yung movie in other award show. Diba? Kung nanalo na sa ibang award show, ganon. Tapos there's politics din sometimes dito sa mga award ceremonies na ganito. Usually, yung mga movies na maraming buzz, yung mga nananalo eh. And so given all that, I think everything, everywhere, all at once is going to win Best Picture bukas. I'd be surprised if hindi siya yung nanalo. For the Oscars being the crazy award show that it is, diba last time, mali yung na-announce na Best Picture. Tapos last year, nanampal si Will Smith. I'm expecting a very good show tomorrow. Naka-livestream bukas yung Academy Awards sa Disney+. Not sponsored, pero not daya. Alright, ciao! Keep my wife's name out of your